And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Duplex is very proud to present Barbra Herr in I'm Still Her.
Am I ready? Okay. Did you say I got a lot to learn? Well, don't think I'm trying not to learn, since this is the perfect spot to learn. Teach me tonight, starting with the ABC of it, right down to the XYZ of it. Help me solve the mystery of it. Teach me tonight. The sky's a blackboard high above you. If a shooting star goes by, I'll use that star to write I love you 1,000 times across the sky. One thing is very clear, my love. Should the teacher stand so near, my love? Graduation's almost here, my love. Come on and teach me tonight. Ba-ba-do-ba-wo-pow. Ba-da-da, ba-do-ba-wo-pow. Bow, yes. Teach me tonight. Well, the sky's a blackboard high above you. If a shooting star goes by, I'll use that star. I'll write I love you 1,000 times across the sky. One thing isn't very clear, my love. Should the teacher stand so near, my love? Graduation's almost here, my love. Come on and teach me tonight. Tonight, yeah. Well, one thing isn't very clear, my love. Should the teacher stand so near, my love? It's feeling to me like this chemistry is right. Teach me tonight. Yes, come on, make some noise here. Let's get this party started. Oh, God. Hello, how are you? How are you? Welcome to the Duplex, ladies and gentlemen, and anything in between. Great to have you here. You know, it's... wait a minute, why am I being so formal here? I mean, I'm looking around here and I see so many faces that I know for like 1,000,000 years. And you all know I love a 4-letter word. So all I gotta say is, I am so fucking glad you guys showed up. I really am. I'm very happy. Oh, yes. You know, now, some of you may know me as a legendary lip sync artiste. I'm legend. Well, that's what they say. I'm legendary. I mean, it's a state of mind, you know? I mean, otherwise, why be in this business for 40 years, Rachel? You know what I mean? I mean, for nothing? I don't think so. I'm a diva, honey. Yes, indeed. But tonight, I wanted to do something different for you guys because I spent more than a few sleepless nights wondering what I could possibly do that would be worth a $15 cover to see me and a 2-drink minimum. And then I started thinking, well, I'm doing something I haven't done in 1,000,000 years. I mean, I'm pushing 60. I'm singing live. It's about time. You know what I mean? So I got myself a producer. I got myself a director. I got myself a piano player. who's such a ham. And I got myself the duplex, honey. So I should have charged you $50. Is what I should have done. No, the bottom line is, seriously, this show is very, very special to me because I'm getting ready to leave this concrete jungle and go back to the sunny, sunny weather of Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, my lovely island. I love the ocean and your people. Had to give a little Rita Moreno moment. You know, what can I say? But I didn't want to leave the greatest city in the world until New York City knew who Barbra Herr really is. What the hell is the line? I'm sorry, I'm having a senior moment, people. I'm saying, give me a break. It's AARP here right now. Oh, yes, you were there. I forgot. You and I met with the other day, but you know my life story. So I'm revisiting my life roots. I hate when this shit happens. Okay, I'm revisiting my life roots in this condensed workshop version of my life story, which is the story of a little bullied Boricua boy from the Bronx who eventually grew up to be the woman of his dreams. What am I gonna do with this woman? Anyway, so if you don't like this kind of music, darling, there are no refunds. I'm singing songs tonight that I normally don't do in a drag show because, you know, I work for the Hootie Tootie bars where I have to shake my ass all the time. So I wanted to be refined. So if you don't like this type of music, there are no refunds. But I will suggest you go outside and have a couple more drinks, like 4 or 5, and you're gonna swear you saw, I don't know, Shirley Bassey in concert maybe? I don't know. Depends on what you're drinking and how much you drink. Yes. I mean, come on, people. Give me a standard. Give me a Broadway tune. Yes, honey, I am one of those dated queens. I'm a classic, motherfuckers. I don't know why I'm frightened. I know my way around here. The band, the lights, familiar sights, and it's the sound here. Yes, a world to rediscover. But to stop my heart from pounding, I may need just a moment. The whispered conversations in overcrowded hallways. The atmosphere as thrilling here as always. You just can't replace the feeling of the magic in the music. Yes, everything's as if we never said goodbye. I've spent so many evenings just trying to resist you. I'm trembling now, you can't know how I've missed you. Missed the fairy tale adventures in this ever-spinning playground. We were young together. I guess in every lifetime we go through different stages. You grow, you learn, you try to turn the pages, but you can't replace the feeling of the magic in the music. Yes, everything's as if we never said goodbye. I don't want to be alone. This world's waited long enough. I've come home at last, and this time will be bigger and brighter than we knew it. So watch me fly. We all know I can do this. Could I stop my hand from shaking? Has there ever been a moment with so much to live for? The whispered conversations in overcrowded hallways. So much to say, not just today, but always. Oh, we'll have early morning madness. We'll have magic in the making. Yes, everything's as if we never said goodbye. Tonight, it feels as if we never said goodbye. God, you're nice. You're so nice. I mean, considering I'm a little hoarse, my allergies are really fucking with me. Let me drink a little water. I don't know what singers do, but I'll drink a little water. I really know what they do. I'm just not doing it here. We do that after the show. So, I was born in 1955 in the Bronx, New York. Yeah. And my parents named me Robert. Robert Hernandez. Yes, Bobby from the block, absolutely. Fuck J-Lo, honey. I was there first. So my parents named me Robert. Robert Hernandez. Now you know where that her came from. Uh-huh. And they used to call me Bobby because it was just easier. Bobby this, Bobby that. So I was Bobby. And my career, well, I like to say started probably when I was about 6 or 7 or 5, around there. Yeah, my mother had this club. It was called Los Hijos de Morovis Social Club on East Tremont Avenue in the Bronx. Now, let me give you a little background on these clubs. This was the peak of the Puerto Rican invasion in New York City in the 60s, you know? We kind of took over the city. And there were representatives from all the 35 municipalities of San Juan, of Puerto Rico in general. So they had Los Hijos de Ciales, Los Hijos de Luquillo, Los Hijos de San Juan. We were Los Hijos de Morovis. And my mom, my mom. What can I say about my mom? I mean, my mom was so beautiful, so stunning. I mean, look what she gave birth to. Anyway, my mom would walk me on a Saturday afternoon to clean the place after a Friday night there. And she walked my brother and I up this long staircase on East Tremont Avenue into a world of tinsel. It was tinsel. It was tinsel hanging from the windows, from the doorways, tinsel from the dance floor, tinsel on the stage. It was tinsel. It was like a really bad, tacky, cheap quinceañero. You know what I mean? But then in the corner, that was my favorite place, this corner. In the corner, there was the jukebox. I love that jukebox. Because it was the 60s, so music was music then. I mean, we had everything from Sinatra to Motown. And for us Latinos, we had Tito Puente. And we had Johnny Pacheco. Oh my God. And they had La Lupe. Yo soy la mala. Ay! And then the people started coming in on a Saturday night, you know, the men and the women all dressed up in casita. The men came in to that place. Now, mind you, I was 7, but I was watching. The men came in with these tight suits. I mean, they were so tight that there was no discussion over who wore boxers and who wore briefs. I'll tell you that much right now. Just thinking about it gets me a little excited right now. But then the women. Oh, the women. When they came in, it was a whole other story. The women either had a French twist or a beehive, or perhaps they had some bouffant like Jackie Kennedy, because that was the time. And always a new dress on Saturday, form-fitting. I mean, hugging the body. They gave you body, those Puerto Rican women. And then they had those stilettos and those fabulous nylons, you know, the ones that had the seams, they go from the ankle all the way to the back of the thigh, like Betty Boop. Boop, boopy doo. Then they started to dance. And they danced. And they danced so close. There was no foot movement. It was all here. All there. I mean, it's no wonder that nobody got pregnant there. I mean, it was just so tight. Or maybe that's how I got here. Who knows? Oh, God. Were you there, Rachel? And I'm older than you. I still remember the smell of that rancid beer. You know, rancid beer, it stinks. The cigarettes. Ugh. And then on a Saturday night, sometimes my mom would drag my brother and me there. She had a band playing and the people were dancing, carrying on. So we'd be sleeping in the coat check. Laying on chairs and stacks of coats. Sleeping like cute little kids. All of a sudden, out of the blue, at some weird hour, my mother would come in. Waking me up. Bobby, levántate, que vas a cantar. Did you understand that? All right, good. Because this is not a dual language kind of show, okay? Vas a cantar, cantar. You're going to sing, get up. Put a little spit on my hair. Fix my little tie. And she shoved me out there into a world of a bunch of drunk people that were dancing that didn't want to see a little kid singing these Spanish boleros, you know, with such passion. I didn't know what the hell they meant, but I sang with such passion because, well, I was a little man. Adelante, quien quiera que sea, que me esté tocando las puertas del alma. ¡Ole! And I did it like that. Passion. What happened after that? Oh yeah, of course. I forgot my mother always talking bullshit. My mother used to always say, she was like the Mama Rose, Puerto Rican Mama Rose, okay? She used to tell her girlfriends, this is the kid who's gonna get me out of poverty. This kid, when he starts singing, he gonna be the best. I put no more. Canta, baby, canta, coño, canta. And I would. Oh God, they were horrible. Were you there? You kind of look like that lady at the piano too. She had me in voice lessons. There was this agency called Star Allen, and they used to go around the inner boroughs looking for like poor kids. Yeah. Telling everybody they were talented when they really stunk, you know? But they wanted your money. So my mother got me into this place called Star Allen. And I was doing my little voice lessons and singing songs. That probably lasted a couple months. And then my mom was just like, espérate. Esto es un racket. This is a racket. She said, let's go. What do you mean, let's go? Where am I going to start singing? She says, cantas en casa. You sing at home. Well, and I did. Until 1963. I was 8 years old. And my school, St. Anselm School on Tinton Avenue in the Bronx, Oh, do you know it? Some bitchy nuns up in there. I know. Well, anyway, St. Anselm's School was something else. Their spring play was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Oh, I was in gay heaven not knowing it. Because, I mean, Snow White, you know, in my mind, secretly, I was seeing myself as Snow White. Who could play this part better than me? So audition started, and, you know, I was sure I was going to get this. And we started singing, you go, Robert, you got your part. I went, yes. You're the prince. What? What could I do? I was the prince. I was a boy. I forgot that for a second, you know? But what killed me the most was Snow White turned out to be the fattest girl in school. Okay? Fat Delia Lopez, and I don't mean that offensively, but she was fat and she was ugly, okay? Fat Delia Lopez, who sang like a god, but she was fat and ugly, okay? What could I do? So we start rehearsing. You know, the prince has his song, and she has her song. So I couldn't, you know, it was like what happened to me today. I couldn't for the life of me remember the words to the song. I freaked out because, you know, I had to hold Delia. You know, I was in front of her. She was here, and I hold her, and it was so against my nature because I felt like I was a woman too. It was like a lesbian holding another one, you know? Even at 8 years old, I knew something was wrong with that picture. So I kind of blocked out the lyrics to the Prince's big song, you know? So this went on for a couple of days, and finally the teacher said to me, you know what, you can't be the prince anymore because you can't you can't remember the words to this song. I mean, what do you mean? She goes, no. So they got the cutest boy in class, Michael Perillo. Of course, the Italian guy. Never fails. Cute, 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 cute. But couldn't sing for shit. I at least I could do a note, you know? So he was in as the prince, and me, they made me a dwarf. Now, you have to understand this. You see how tall I am now tonight here? I was this tall when I was 8 years old. Okay? There's no fucking way I could be a fucking dwarf. So you know what happened? That wasn't even the worst part of it all. I mean, adding insult to injury, I had to go home and deal with Mona, my mother. You know, the stage mother from hell? So I go home, yeah, with the high ho. And I go to her mom. They made me a dwarf. I can't remember the words to the prince's song, and, well, they demoted me. She says, ¿Qué tú me dices a mí? What you telling me? Que you know the prince no more? How you not gonna be the prince? You have to be the prince. You're the one who sing. When mama, he said, I don't give a nothing about that. That little boy is very cute, but él no canta. Pendejo, él no canta. You better learn that song or you know I'm going to give you 4 galletas para que te aprenda la fucking canción de mierda esa. Well, long story short was I was being threatened with a beating. I learned that song very quickly. And I went back to school and I told the teacher, look, I know the song now. I mean, I would love to be the prince. So when I went through the song and I knew the words, so I was back in the prince's outfit, and I had my buckle shoes and my knee socks, and I had the knickers, and I had the jacket with the tails, and I had that fabulous, fabulous ruffled shirt. You know a gay guy loves a ruffled shirt, honey. Michael was demoted to dwarf. And I was there again as the prince. So tonight, oh, I forgot all about that. Were you there too? This bitch been everywhere. So on opening night, I got the best part. Thank God you're here, Rachel, you know? Dementia's singing in, yeah. She's too many things, thank God she's here. Otherwise, this could be a fiasco. Okay, so on opening night, in the St. Ansem School Auditorium, which was huge, the curtain opens up, and the people are all sitting here, and then there was the balcony up there, and I could see my mom sitting up there with that blonde French twist, just staring at me and watching like protectively, like a lion is protecting her cub, you know? And I start singing. And she started crying. That's my song. Ese es mi hijo, carajo. I made her so proud that night. But tonight, Mom, I feel like the princess. Tonight it's my turn to be Snow White, and I hope I can get through this song. Oh, God. Why the hell am I even doing this show? Someday my prince will come. Someday I'll find my love. And how thrilling that moment will be when the prince of my dreams comes to me. He'll whisper, I love you, and steal a kiss or two, though he's far away. I'll find my love someday, someday, when my dreams come true. Oh, please, make my dreams come true. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to come down here. Do you think you can give it? Thank you. I knew somebody. There had to be a gentleman here. Now watch it. You know, I'm old and I have a sprained ankle. All right. Yeah, I have a sprained ankle. Shit happens. And you know, the older you get, it takes longer to heal. It's been 10 weeks already. I feel like Lucille Ball. Oh, God. People always, yeah, you're right in my face, girl. I shaved, okay? Que chorre charlatanes aquí, maricones, coño. No, I don't. I tweeze, but let's not go there. I have a show to do. All right. People always ask me, all my life they've been asking me, when did you know? No. When did I know what? What was I supposed to know? I remember putting on my mother's wedding dress. I did. I was probably 5 or 6, maybe. She would go out to the club and leave us with a babysitter, probably a cousin or something, and for me it was a party. I mean, I went into her closet, it was like a world of wonder. I mean, there were high heels and stockings and dresses and all this stuff that I loved. And one day, in one of those rummages through that closet, I came across this box. And inside the box was cellophane paper, and I pulled it back, and when I pulled it out, it was my mother's wedding dress. And I went, oh my God, I can be a bride. So my brother said, don't even go there. And I said to him, oh, yes, I will. And I put on my mother's wedding dress and I made my brother button it up. That, of course, because that way if I get in trouble, he's getting his ass kicked too. Anyway, I paraded around the house with the goddamn dress on and I was flying all over the place. I remember it like it was yesterday. And like kids do when they're having a good time and they get bored and they get tired, and what do? They fall asleep. I fell asleep with my mother's wedding dress on. I swear to God, these stories are true. I did not make them up. So I fell asleep with my mother's wedding dress on. So she comes home like, I don't know, 3, 4 in the morning. She's coming from a club. And like moms do, she's checking out, the children, see how they are. She went into my room. We had bunk beds. My brother on the top and me as always on the bottom. And she checked my brother. All was cool. And then she went down. I was laying there like Sleeping Beauty, She said, ¿Qué carajo es esto? ¿Pero qué carajo es esto? Yo parí una nena con huevo, ¿qué es esto? ¿Qué es esto? Mira, maricón, mira, coño, levántate, coño, y quítate la mierda esa ya. Well, she gave me the beating of life. Well, I wasn't asleep after that. She beat the shit out of me, but you know what? She couldn't beat it out of me because it just was what it was. And so I guess I knew then. What I didn't know was that I thought I was the only one. I didn't know what they were talking about. My mom and I, we live alone. A grand apartment is our home. In New York City, I have to keep me company. 2 cats, 3 dogs, a parakeet. All very pretty. I help my mother with the chores. I wash, she dries. I do the floors. We work together. I shop and cook and sew a bit. Though mom does too, I must admit, hey, I do it better. At night I work in a strange bar, impersonating every star. I'm quite deceiving. The customers come in with doubt, then wonder what I'm all about, and leave believing. I do a very special show where I am nude from head to toe. After stripteasing, each night the men look so surprised. I change my sex before their eyes. Tell me if you can, what makes a man a man? We love to pull apart someone and start some gossip just for fun, or start a rumor. We let our hair down, so to speak, and mock ourselves with tongue-in-cheek and inside humor. So many times I have to pay for having fun and being gay. It's not amusing. There's always those who call my name by finding fault in calling names, always accusing. They draw attention to themselves at the expense of, well, someone else. It's so confusing. Yet they make fun of how I walk and imitate the way I talk. Tell me if you can, what makes a man a man? My masquerade comes to an end when I go home to bed again, alone and friendless. I close my eyes and think of him and fantasize what might have been. My dreams are endless. We love each other, but it seems the love, it lives only in my dreams. It's so one-sided. Yet in this life I must confess, the search for love and happiness is unrequited. I ask myself what I've got, and what I am and what I'm not. What am I giving? Then answers come from those who make those rules that some of us must break just to keep living. I know my life is not a crime. I'm just a victim of my time. I stand defenseless. Nobody has the right to be the judge of what is right for me. Tell me if you can, what makes a man a man? Thank you. Oh gosh, you're nice. You're so nice. Thank you so much. So where were we, Rachel? Might as well. You're part of the show now. I'm gonna have to give you an extra $100. Oh yes. Well, she has to remind me, and then after that, I'm gonna make it up anyway. Oh God, I used to have to cross those underground tunnels that connected the basements, to the buildings in the Bronx. That was, to and from school. That was the only way you could avoid the bullies back in those days. Not that you could really avoid them. I was harassed from elementary school straight through high school, my whole life. And there wasn't a guidance counselor. There wasn't anybody who could save you. Art saved me. Art saved me. It was my escape. It did. And then, one day, my mother was kind of fed up with it already. And she said, I'm not raising my kids in this ghetto. Well, the Bronx was a ghetto back then. We're talking about like 1970. It was horrible. So, when I was 15 years old, she packed us up and we were back in Puerto Rico. Oh God, I loved being there because, for the first time in my life, I had friends in school. I wasn't bullied. I had camaraderie. I found a drama club. I could be the loud fag that I was and nobody gave a shit about it. It was just so nice. It really was. I just loved it there. Well, of course, except for those people in the street who didn't know me. I'd be on my bicycle, going to do something, and there was always some idiot. Pato! Pato gringo! Which means American fag. And I would say, Pato es tu madre, cabrón, hijo de la gran puta, a mí no me digas pato, okay? But I could only do that because I was on a bicycle. Because if I was walking, that wasn't happening. What happened with her, Rachel? Oh, yeah. So anyway, life in Puerto Rico was dandy and beautiful. Well, it was. It was very different from living in New York. And I was just at the point of being like really happy. I was like ready to graduate from high school and all was great. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, my mom died. Mom died. And I was 17 and she was 40. And I lost my voice. Te vi partir ayer por esa puerta. Te dije adiós con pena y mi alma muerta. Y tú escucha bien, si Si vuelves a mi puerta, que no la abriré. ¿Para qué? Si vuelves tú, me tienes que querer, me tienes que llorar y me tienes que adorar. Si vuelves tú, la vida no ha de ser lo que contigo fue cuando estabas aquí. No, no será igual si vuelves tú. So, life as I knew it just had to continue. I graduated from high school and I kept doing the rounds and going to different auditions. And I got a couple of things, you know, but not a whole lot because, you know, I was so effeminate. I mean, I was so feminine. I had so many mannerisms. That wasn't a cool thing in Puerto Rico, especially in 1973. They didn't want to give that publicity on TV, so I didn't get a whole lot of stuff. And then, what happened, Rachel? Oh yeah, exactly. I'm glad you understand that. Yeah, I mean, you know, I auditioned for these people, and every time I auditioned, they always made me feel like I was less than, you know? My mother, my champion, my biggest fan, and these people made me feel like shit. So it wasn't a cool time for me. It just wasn't. And then what happened, Rachel? Oh yeah, that's what happened. I went back to New York, honey, because you know what? Puerto Rico sucked. It sucked. Honey, on a trip back to New York, okay, to study hairdressing, I discovered the underground, honey. It was the post-Stonewall Revolution. Honey, it was fabulous. I had never done drag before, but I did it on a dare. Yes, I did. Because I didn't think I was a cute boy, but as a girl, I was kind of hot. So after a brief stint as Peaches in the drag troupe The Cherries, my new alter ego, Bobby Herr, moved his ass back to Puerto Rico, right? No? Where did I go? If you remember correctly, where did I go, Rachel? Oh, of course. She's fabulous. You gotta show some love to Rachel Kaufman here. God. She's too many things. So, with this newfound freedom, I had such a rush because I was able to channel, you know, all these fabulous, glamorous women from that time, who I looked nothing like and I sounded nothing like, but they were fabulous. So the women of those days, it was Shirley Bassey, it was Diana Ross, and it was of course the diva of divas, Miss Barbra Streisand. Papa, can you hear me? Oh! Oh, she still gives me the chills. We love Barbara. I didn't know that was part of the show. Is that part of the show? Oh. She's just carrying on here. This is now, I'm still Rachel. So what happened after I found that freedom, girl? What? Oh yes, of course. So I decided to take my day skills and use them at night. And I figured, well, I mean, if being a woman, lip syncing at night was what it was, that's what it was gonna be. And so what happened after that? I did hair, and what else did I do? Hair, that's not in the script. Robert Fian's Hair Design Institute, yes, and I got two of them going crazy here, I want you to know. Oh yes, so for the next 16 years I dragged, and I mean dragged my act all over Puerto Rico, all over the islands. Everywhere I went, they wanted to see Bobby Herr. I worked at all the top discos, right? I did some television, right? She's not sure. All right, I did. I did some television. I did some theater. Torch Song Trilogy. I did La Cacho Fall. Oh, and you might, oh, of course. I did a commercial. I did a commercial for Goya. Frijoles negros Goya. Porque si es Goya, tiene que ser bueno. Yes, and you might recognize me from my star turn. It was a star turn on the Sunday program called Lo Tomas o Lo Dejas, which means take it or leave it. It was a game show, honey, where my classical training as an actor, well, my drag. It won me $1,000 on a refrigerator. So I sold the refrigerator because, hell, I needed the money. I wish you guys could see what I'm looking at right now from here. So speaking of training, Schwitzen. Speaking of training, my mentor Antonio Pantojas in Puerto Rico. Yeah, wonderful man. Antonio Pantojas gave me my first break in 1975, and this was at Bachelor Disco in San Juan. And he had a Thursday night show. It was called El Show de Pantojas, where he had all of us there. And Pantojas was the one who taught me that drag was more than just drag. It could be an art form, and it could be serious. And he taught me how to act, and he taught me how to respect my craft and not just be a joke or be a mime. And to this day, that doesn't go over very well with a lot of people who treat me as if I was less than. I remember this queen. She worked with me in the show. She was there before me, actually. Horrible cocaine addict. She came to me one day with this bag of coke in her hand. You're not gonna be nothing ever in the life. You're not gonna be nothing because you know what? I was here first. And I'd be damned if you're gonna go anywhere because you're gonna be a flash in the pan. You're gonna be nothing. Well, I don't know if it was the cocaine talking. Because I don't know what the hell happened to her. But after 40 years in show business, I'm still here. And since I'm still here and I'm old, I'm having a senior moment. So I'm gonna read. Excuse me. Good times and bum times, I've seen them all, and my dear, I'm still here. It's plush velvet sometimes, sometimes just pretzels and beer, but I'm here. I stuffed the falsies in my boobs, strutted in high heels, I lip-synced too. In the recession, was I depressed? Oh no, nowhere near. I voted for Obama, so I'm here. You can clap for him. I've been through Streisand, Stonewall, and just being queer. And I'm here. The disco and standards, well, my schlong, and platinum hair. Well, I'm here. Got to the 80s with my old nose. Reagan, the gay plague, oh God, it was major blows. I had heebie-jeebies for Rudy Giuliani's Times Square. I hated it. I've gotten through Justin Bieber, and I'm here. through GW and Mayor Bloomberg. Gee, that was fun and a half. Listen, when you've been through two Bushes, Giuliani, and then Bloomberg, honey, well, anything else, it's a laugh. I've been through Reno, I've been through Beverly Hills, and I'm here. Reefers and vino, rescuers, religion, then pills, and I'm here. I've been called a homo, a tranny too. I got through it stinko sitting right here on my stool. I should have gone to an acting school. Well, hey, that seems clear. You know what? Still somebody said, well, you know what? She's sincere. So I'm here. I'm sorry. Give me a second. Black Saber one day. Now I can do this Tuesday. It goes into hock. And I'm here. Red bacon somewhere. Thursday. You're touring in stock. Now I'm blind. And I'm here. First you're another slow-eyed vamp, then someone's mother, then your camp, then your career, and career, and career, and career, and career to career. Fuck, I'm almost through my memoirs, and I'm here. Huh. I've gotten through, hey lady, aren't you who's it? Wow, what a looker you were. Or better yet, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were who's it. Do you know what? Whatever happened to her? Oh, good times and bum times. I've seen them all, my dear. I'm still here. Plush velvet sometimes just pretzels and beer. And I'm here. Well, I've run the gamut. A to Z. 3 cheers, God damn it, say la vie. Well, I got through all of last year, and I'm here. Well, Lord knows at least I was there, and I'm here. Well, look who's here. I'm still is too many things. I should have announced that this was going to be a reading. And is it hot in hell in here or is it me? I mean, it's like menopause again. Not that I would know. Anyway. Gay, straight, confused. You know, they all packed the clubs everywhere I went. To see Bobby Herr, Bachelor Disco, Stars Disco, the Atlantic Beach Hotel, Souvenir. I mean, they were everywhere. For 20 years or so, San Juan, Puerto Rico was the mecca for gay tourism. And then somewhere along in the mid-'80s, that scene started to die. And people were dying. And people in Puerto Rico were going back to New York looking for a cure for this thing that was killing everyone, and no one knew what it was. For 7 years, I watched as AIDS took a toll on people that I loved. So by 1989, I didn't have much of a circle of friends anymore. I was 34 years old and I was alone. So I took a page out of my mother's book of life, and I decided it was time for, well, a change. I landed. Oh God, Rachel, what happened after that? Okay, so I changed. So, oh yes, it might sound like Bobby Herr was running from himself, and I probably was, to a certain extent. But it took me going back to where I came from to find the real me. I mean, it was only until I arrived in New York 23 years ago that I figured out that any of this was gonna happen. Oh. People were always asking me when I came to New York, why don't you start taking hormones, or you have to do something? I mean, you don't look good as a guy, and the only way you look halfway decent is as a woman, and that ain't that pretty either. Start taking those hormones, and men aren't gonna look at you. Gay men don't want you. So I did. I started. It was something I had in my mind, and I just did it. And I started feminizing and hormonizing, and I always dressed as a guy because it was so scary to go into something new. Dress as a woman during the day was like a whole different thing from what I did at night. It was scary, and I still had a beard, and I had a mustache, and I had hair on my chest. Anyway, I had this roommate. Her name was Hawaiian Angie. Gorgeous bitch, Hawaiian Angie. The long black hair, the flower in her hair. She wore a sarong all year round like she was walking the beaches of Honolulu. And one day she comes to me with a leotard in her hand. And she says, Mary, you really need to put this on. Do me a favor, put some makeup on your face, take this leotard, put it on, dress like a girl for God's sake, go do your laundry, take a walk, I don't care what you do. Get the hell out of this house. You look like a lesbian. And not a pretty one either, okay? Well, I was petrified, my God, during the day? This was before I had electrolysis or anything done like that. I was so paranoid. How do you do this? Well, I did. I went into the bathroom, I shaved my chest. Everything. I threw on some makeup. I went out. I did my laundry. I was so scared. But I gotta say one thing. I never wore men's clothes again. So thank you, Angie, for that. Yeah. Oh, God. You kill me. I don't even know what the hell you're saying. Oh, yes. Puñeta. God, around this time, it was the early 90s, people. Giuliani had won the election, and, New York was changing. Huh? New York was changing. Yeah, right? Well, yeah, I had to start from scratch because, Oh, I forgot about that. I did start from scratch. Bitch. Exactly. When I came here, I was an underground star in Puerto Rico, but here nobody knew who the hell I was. So of course, you start from scratch. I bartended, I waited tables. I did everything I had to do to survive in this city except sell my ass. There's no way I was selling my ass. The city was changing. Giuliani at that time wanted all us porno people out of the Times Square area. He didn't like us. Everything was changing. Times Square was corporate Disneyfied, and the subways were actually clean for the first time in like 20 years. It was incredible. It was a pleasure to get on the train again, except that number 7 going to Corona. Whenever I got on that train, it was a nightmare. Because the kids were coming out of school, They'd packed that car like sardines. And I was petrified. I used to sweat. It was so scary because, it only takes one kid to figure it out. And then the whole car knows your business. And that's what happened to me. It was always that one kid. And tells this one, And that one, you're right, it's probably the gay one. And this one, and then the other one, and the other one, and the other one. You know what they're saying? They goes, that's a man. Look at that's a man. That's a man. Oh my God, it was so scary. Sometimes I used to get off when it wasn't my stop. Sometimes I guess the bullies never go away. Even with kids, those motherfuckers. And then, of course, another part of my life came, which made me feel a little more secure. I started the pageant scene. I entered beauty pageants. Not that I was pretty, but I was fucking talented. I knew I could win one of these pageants. I did preliminaries for like a national pageant, and I won one. I won a preliminary for Miss Continental USA, and the prize package was, get this, surgery. Feminization surgery in Mexico. In Guadalajara. In Jalisco. Well, I was appalled. I mean, my God, surgery in another country? What? How do you do that? I mean, I knew girls who had gone there and they never came back because they died there. You know, they hide the body. Nobody ever. What would my father say if something happened to me? Who was going to tell my dad? Oh, hell no, I wasn't going. So I conveniently missed my flight. I didn't go. Next thing you know, I'm getting a phone call. Oh. Yes. What happened? Oh, I missed my flight. Fine. Get on the next flight. Oh, I can't. Yes, you can. I paid a lot of money for you, bitch. You're going to do all this. Get on the plane. You don't drink water. You don't eat. You're going straight to the operating room. Holy shit. Straight to the operating room? And the way he said it to me, I had to get the hell on there. So I did. I went to Mexico. I arrived in Guadalajara. Some little blonde Mexican picked me up. I never saw that before in my life. Picked me up at the airport, drives me to the clinic. I get to the clinic. All of a sudden, I'm in a hospital gown. They put me in some kind of a wheelchair that's humongous. Doors open. This huge, huge man comes out. Hot. Man, this was the doctor. Dr. Sonny says to me, hola, yo soy Dr. Sonny. And I said, hello, yo soy la señorita Hernandez. Well, I am a señorita. And he says, so what are we going to do to you? And I said, well, you know, it's Jose. He's the one. He says, okay, how old are you? I said, 46. He said, well, you don't need too much. We're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do the other thing. Okay, where do we do blood? Oh, we don't do blood. You can just go straight in there. No blood work? That's how they do in Mexico. Oh my God, I was shitting on myself. I was so scared. They put me in the operating room and I'm laying there with an intravenous in my arm, which is probably going to put me to sleep, right? All of a sudden I glance over to the corner. There's a bench. And I see Dr. Sonny, that big old man. He's sitting there like this. He looked exhausted. Like he had done 100 surgeries before in the day. And I was like number 101. I went, oh, hell no. So I said, Doctor, this can wait for tomorrow if you like. He said, oh, no, mija, it's okay, I'm fine. Are you sure? Yes, I'm fine. Tranquila, mija, tranquila. All right. Doctor, tienes un hamburger. You want a hamburger? Y un taco. ¿Te comes un taco? Algo. No, yo estoy fine, mija, tranquila. I fell asleep. I wake up, I don't know, hours later. And I'm in, I can't even describe it. It was this tiniest bed I had ever seen in my life. It was like this. And my legs were thrown over the top of it. So I was just laying there like this. Okay? And my feet were frozen. And these people didn't understand me because, you know, I'm a bitchy bitch. I needed some socks or something. I was cold. Anyway, I get up out of the bed and I go to the bathroom. Because on top of that, I had to pee. So I go to the bathroom, there's a mirror. And I look at myself in the mirror. And I went, oh my God. First of all, I was all black and blue and swollen. That's the first thing you see. I didn't see my eyes because they were so swollen. And then I had these humongous things hanging from the back of my ears. They look like elephant ears. And this is for drainage of blood. And then I looked even closer and I had a cast on my nose. The motherfucker did my nose without asking me. I wound up looking like Michael Jackson. Oh my God! I was beside myself. Well, bottom line is, I went to Mexico and they gave me the surgery. They pulled my face. They did my nose. They did my eyes. They did my neck and my boobs. And they gave me hips and they gave me an ass. They feminized me, honey. Yes, they did. And that year, I placed top 5 in that national pageant. Yes, I did. And the year after that, I won the motherfucker. Yes, I did. And that pageant, Miss Continental, changed my life because I was able to travel around the country to different places I probably never would have gone to had I not won the pageant. And I met people who were fabulous. And I even performed at the Apollo Theater. I performed. And I had a long-running gig at the Monster across the street. Yes, for a long time. Well, they fired me. Don't clap, okay? The bottom line is, I'm trying to tell you that it hasn't been all roses and lollipops. You know, my life had its ups and downs like yours, like anyone else's. You know, at this stage of my life, I've realized that, you know, you either retire yourself or you will be retired. It's that simple. And I refused to go, which is why I decided that I wanted to do this show here at the Duplex. I wanted to do it not only for myself, to prove that I could still do something different that wasn't just a drag lip sync show. I so hate them. But also I wanted to do it for the memory of my mom, who was so driven behind me, you know? She never got to see me on a legitimate stage, so hopefully she's looking at me tonight. So, Mom, I'm everything that you ever wanted me to be. It just looks a little different, you know? But this show, this was for you. No complaints and no regrets. I still believe in chasing dreams and placing bets. For I have learned that all you give, it's all you get. So give it all you got. I had my share, I drank my fill. And even though I'm satisfied, I'm hungry still to see what's down another road beyond the hill and do it all again. Here's to life and all the joy it brings. Yes, here's to life and dreamers and the dreams. Funny how the time just flies. How love can go from warm hellos to sad goodbyes and leave you with the memories you memorize to keep your winters warm. But there's no yes in yesterday, and who knows what tomorrow brings or takes away. As long as I'm still in the game, I want to play for laughs, for life, for love. So here's to life and all the joy it brings. Yes, here's to life and dreamers and their dreams. May all your storms be weathered and all that's good get better. Here's to life, here's to love, here's to you. be weathered, and all that's good just get better. Here's to life, here's to love, here's to you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Before I acknowledge people here, I just want to say thank you to all of you for coming to this workshop, because that's what this is. It's a workshop. So next time you come and see it, I hope it'll be a lot more polished. But I appreciate the fact that you're here, that you came to support. I'm very happy. Thank you so much. This project could never have happened hadn't it been for a few people, but mainly two people that I met a couple years ago who were just fabulous. They've been following me around, filming me for a documentary for the last couple years, and they're my co-producers, and one of them also wrote this script for me from my memoirs. Show some love for Rob and Nate Millado Bailey. Thank you, guys. I love you more than you know. I love you as well. And of course, I was very lucky in this journey because I had a whole other pianist planned, because I don't know a lot of musicians. I worked at the Monster for so long, so I was going to get one of those guys. And the one I chose, because this was a show that I wanted someone who would have the same passion for this type of music that I do. And I had this guy, and he says to me, look, I can't do it, but do you mind working with a woman? And I said, I don't give a fuck what she is. I don't care. Can she play? Can she play? He says, can she play? I mean, can she play? This is Rachel Kaufman. Yes. No, you gotta give her a bigger applause, because she was my other character. I mean, without you, I couldn't have gone through this tonight. So one more time for Rachel Kaufman. Yes. Love you. We're taking this on the road, girl. And of course, many years ago in Puerto Rico, when I was performing at different venues, there was a group of kids. I call them kids because they're a lot younger than me. Who were in the drama department of the University of Puerto Rico. And they used to come see me every Wednesday night at this club I worked at. And you never know who's watching you. That's why you have to be on your toes. And these kids, as I call them, turned out to be fabulous in their own right. Individually, this particular person is an ACE award winner for DC4 Clemente. He wrote it, he directed it, he did everything, yes. And he's a Helen Hayes nominee. He did La Lupe for Sully Diaz. I mean, he's movies. He didn't need this job, okay? This is my dear friend, Luis Caballero. And it's his birthday! It's his birthday! Yes! 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 Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Luis. Happy birthday to you. Yes, baby. Luis just turned 50 years old. Welcome to my nightmare. Good times and bum times, I've seen them all, and my dear, I'm still here. Well, plush velvet sometimes, just pretzels and beer, but I'm here. I've run the gamut, A to Z. 3 cheers, God damn it, say la vie. I got through the last 40 years, and I'm here. Lord knows at least I was there. And I'm here. Look who's here. I'm still her. Thank you, Duplex. Thank you, Lisa, on the lights. Thank you all. I love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Barbra Herr.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe. Get your friends to do so too. And share, share, share. Thanks a lot.